So my name is Kate Hines, and I have an accounting degree from the University of North Alabama. I graduated in 2016, and I am one of the owners of Ridgeline Exteriors. I own it with my boyfriend Kyle, and we have been in business since the summer of 2020, right when COVID just started. We have always been in the construction industry. Ever since we met, we've always done construction jobs together, and I would help him run the books, help him run the jobs, and he obviously has all the construction knowledge. So it's something we've always done, but we've always had other jobs along the way. And so right when COVID hit in 2020, I was laid off from the job that I had. And so we had this idea of, we knew how to do it, we knew what to do, so what's the worst case scenario? I have to get a different job if this doesn't work out. So we started Ridgeline Exteriors. It took us several months to come up with a name. We threw names around a lot. And then we started construction, got our licenses, got our, he's had his home builder's license since 2013. So we got our name secured, we got our tax ID number, and just said, here we go. Well, we never slowed down from the moment we started that. And this past December, Kyle found out that he was going to have to get vaccinated to keep his job where he was. And that was not something either of us were interested in. So unexpectedly, he came home super early than we had planned on, intended. And it was scary at first, but he has not had an off day since last December. And we just keep getting busier and keep getting more business, and it's really exciting. Okay, so the most common misconception, in social media, you've got all these young people and these fancy cars and all this money, and all they do is go on vacation, and that's great. Maybe some people actually get to do all that, but it's really just working all of the time. You're constantly working on your craft and your trade, your business, from daylight to dark, and even after that. And sometimes it's super random. We could be at dinner and it looks like a date, but we're really working the whole time, or late at night at home or in the office. It's literally just working on your craft all of the time. And that can sound really not fun to a lot of people, but when it's yours, we go to work, we wake up and go to work every single day. Like, it's just what we do. Saturday, Sunday, every day we're working, and it's great. Like, you love it because it's yours. I feel like if I had to get up on Saturday and Sunday every weekend and go work for someone, clock in, I wouldn't feel as motivated or passionate about it because it was not mine. I'm working for, someone else's dream. So we literally wake up every single day and we work on our business all day, all night. And, a lot of people don't see a lot of the work that goes on. So it's not always just... Actually, it's never the social media entrepreneur view, at least not in my experience yet. We don't have the big watches and cars and all that you see, and they're like 20, and they're like millionaires. So I hope that works out for some people. But I think the misconception is that it's too late. At some point in your life, you can't start a business. I'll be 30, he's 35, and we're just getting this started. Like, we've got a lot of plans, for the future. This is nowhere near the end for us. So you can start it at any time, and it can look very different for a lot of different people. I would say the most challenging part of owning your own business is there's no book, there's no entrepreneur school, there's no layout of the steps to take. This is how you do it. So every decision, every problem you have, you're just making the best decision you can at that time. So I'm constantly worrying if I'm making the best decision that I can for the people, my customers, my employees, my contractors. And I'm lucky to have Kyle to make those decisions with, and he and I are able to discuss them and take them one by one. But that's probably the hardest thing, is there's no right or wrong. You're just doing the best you can in that moment at that time, and I'm constantly wondering if I've done the best that I can do in that moment. So I would say the best part of being an entrepreneur is the fact that I get to work with my best friend every day, Kyle. A lot of people say they couldn't work with their husband or their boyfriend, but we get along great. I love being able to make decisions with him. He's not gone 12 hours a day to a plant. Tomorrow he'll get to pick up his daughter from school. She'll come hang out at the office for a couple hours. My friends and family can stop by. I can hire my friends and family. So the freedom and flexibility, you don't feel free and flexible because you're working all the time, but at the same time you're free to do what you want, and hopefully the goal is that I get to do that more, and I love being able to work with him and do appointments like these at my convenience. So my advice to a high school student is if you're interested in something, a trade, any kind of career, go shadow that career. So most people are very open to that. Like most people in the industry would be very open to someone just hanging out at the office or following along in the truck. Go and do whatever you think you're interested in. Go work in that for several days, several weeks. You might find out that you're very interested in it and you love it, or you may not want to do that at all. And so instead of going to college for 4 years to do it and then finding out that you hate it, you've just shadowed a couple days. And honestly, that's a better way to find out if you like something, because going to college is nothing like what the actual field is. So it's very good to go to college. It's a great experience. But I learned that once you get into the field that you're studying, it's nothing like your classes. So if you go to work with these people who are in it every single day, usually they are more than happy to share what they do and what a normal day looks like. And if you do that for a couple of days and you think, I don't want to do this, then you've wasted nothing but a couple of days and you've learned a little bit about something new. So I highly recommend just going after whatever that is you think that interests you, because in the end it may not at all. I never thought that I would be a part owner in a construction company. So just never be afraid to go do something that you don't think you'll have any interest in, because you might end up being really passionate about it. Like accounting I love, but I was like, oh, so I have to sit here for like 12 hours and I'm not allowed to leave but for like 30 minutes to eat, and then I've got to come back and they're in charge of every move I make, and so now I get to use my degree in my business. I'm the accountant, and so I have a great degree, but I'm able to transition it into something that I really enjoy. When you own your own business, when you're in entrepreneurship, you have to be open to change, okay? And just because you have to change the way you do your business or the way you hire people, the way you operate, it's not a failure. It took me a long time to realize if something the way we were doing something didn't work, it's not like over forever, like I'm like, oh, we're terrible, we're failed. No, failure is just like, it doesn't work that way. So you have to be open to find all of the different ways that it can work, and it's probably going to work better. So I would just say, we started a long time ago. When we first started in construction, we thought, okay, we'll just build houses. Okay, well now we replace roofs on houses, we build porches, we build decks, we do a lot of different things. Next month, we may not do some of those things, or we might do more. It's a constant growth. You've got to be able to adapt and be flexible, because if you want to be successful, it can't just be about just one way forever, because that may not be what is working with the economy, what's working around you. So I would just say change does not equal failure. Like you said, it's an opportunity to do it a better way, and I had to get used to that mentality, that kind of destination mentality, like my business will be successful when, no, this, like you said, this is now, the decision's now, and it's okay to change. It's okay to go a completely different route. It's not the end of the world. He and I have several businesses that we're thinking about starting, or we're working on, and half of them might work, half of them may not, with 10 more might come up. So you just have to constantly be open to change. So I just wish I had have known. I felt this intense pressure when I was graduating high school that I had to start college that next month. You know, all of my friends were starting like that summer. No one was taking a break, and everyone knew exactly what they wanted to do. You know, and I thought I had an idea. I changed like 14 times, you know, in 5 years. I thought I had an idea, and I felt comfortable starting my basics, but I wish I had of went and worked in the fields I thought I was interested in, just shadowed, just, you know, worked a couple weeks, and narrowed that down. I like to tell this story because I think it's really funny. UNA came to my high school senior class, and we filled out these questionnaires that was supposed to tell you what you should major in, because off of your interests, your personality, what you're good at, your strengths. And my top two was bartender and construction worker, which I thought was really odd because UNA doesn't have a program for either one of those. So I was really confused by that, and we all laughed, like you and I are laughing right now, like ha ha ha, bartender, construction worker. So I was like, well, then I'll be an accountant. So what's funny about that is, you know, I bartended through school. I still bartend on the side for extra money. I'm in the construction industry, and I love construction, and I use my accounting degree for the construction industry. So just don't put yourself in a box, and you don't have to be one thing today for the rest of your life. I think that a lot of people in this generation are used to people older than them having one job for like 40 years. And you don't have to do that. You can start your own business. You can run your own business for a little while. You can work for someone else. You can do all of it at the same time. I would say just don't feel like the traditions and the rules and what everyone else is doing is what you have to do in that moment. I'm glad I went to college and got my accounting degree because I do use it. But I think I would have gotten it even quicker if I had have worked in a few areas I thought I was interested in. I wouldn't have taken those classes, kind of skipped to what I thought would work best for me. In the end, I think it works out the way it's supposed to, and it will. Just don't be afraid to be different and make different decisions, different choices. College is a great way, but it's not the only way.